Let's talk about broadcast automation. Now, choosing one of these systems isn't like picking out a new piece of tech. It's a huge decision. It's really the foundational choice that's going to power your entire operation for years and years. Think of it as the central nervous system of a modern station. Getting it right is, well, it's absolutely critical.
Just to give you some context, this is part 7 of a 10-part series we're doing, and it's all based on a fantastic, comprehensive guide by Virtualization Options LLC. Now, this guide covers the big, common things that most organizations need to think about, but of course keep in mind that every operation is a little different and you're going to have your own unique things to consider.
You know, when you see a complex broadcast control room like this, your eyes immediately go to all the screens, the lights, the consoles, but the real magic, the actual beating heart of the whole thing, is the automation system. It's that invisible engine working tirelessly in the background, making sure everything hits the air perfectly second by second.
All right, so here's our game plan. We'll start with that invisible engine. Then we'll ask the huge infrastructure question, your place or mine? From there, we'll dig into the critical core parts of the system, and we'll wrap it all up with the ultimate safety net.
Okay, first things first. This is probably the biggest question every single broadcaster has to answer right out of the gate. Where is your automation system actually going to live? And believe me, the answer to this one question shapes everything that follows. So this really breaks down that fundamental choice perfectly. On one hand, you've got on-premises. That means you're making a big capital investment in hardware that you own, that you control, that's right there in your building. Then you've got the cloud, which totally flips the script. It's an operational expense, it gives you incredible scalability, but it tethers your entire operation to how good your internet connection is. But, it doesn't have to be an all-or-nothing choice. A lot of broadcasters now are choosing a hybrid architecture. They're trying to get the absolute best of both worlds by strategically mixing that on-site hardware with cloud services. And here's pretty much how that works. You keep your mission-critical stuff, the things that absolutely cannot fail, like your live playout, right there in-house for maximum reliability. Then you can offload all the heavy lifting, the non-urgent jobs, to the cloud. I'm talking about things like transcoding files or long-term archiving. It's a really smart, really balanced way to do it. So once you've decided where your system is going to live, the next thing you got to understand is how it actually runs. And that really comes down to two key components, what I like to call the muscle and the brain of the whole operation.
Let's start with the muscle. That's your playout engine. This is the part of the system that does the actual physical work of getting your content on the air. It's telling video servers what to play and when, it's juggling all the different video formats, layering in graphics, captions, and it does all of this with absolute frame-accurate precision.
Now, if the playout engine is the muscle, then the traffic system, well, that's the brain. This is the business side of the operation. It's what manages all your ad sales and inventory, it builds the daily program schedules, it handles the billing, and it makes sure you're following all the rules. The traffic system is the brain that tells the playout muscle what to do.
And this right here is the critical feedback loop that connects the brain and the muscle. It's called as-run reconciliation. So after a broadcast, the system automatically compares what actually aired with what the traffic system scheduled to air. If there's any difference, it gets flagged for a human to look at. And this is so important because it's how you make sure your advertisers are billed correctly for what actually went out over the air. It's how you get paid.
Okay, so we've built our system, and we know how it runs. The next, and I'd argue maybe the most important thing to think about, is making sure that it never, ever goes down. Because in broadcasting, dead air isn't just a problem, it's the ultimate disaster.
Broadcasters always aim for this gold standard called 5 nines reliability. That number, 99.999%. What does that actually mean? It means your system is down for less than 6 minutes over an entire year. That is the level of near perfection that this industry demands. So how in the world do you get to that number? With redundancy. The two main ways to do it are hot and warm standby. A hot standby system is like having an exact mirror of your main system running at the same time, ready to take over instantly. A warm standby is a little more cost-effective. The backup tier is all set up and ready, but it might take a few moments to spin up and take over if something goes wrong. But redundancy is about so much more than just a backup server in the next rack. It's about planning for a true disaster. This means you have to define your objectives. How long can you afford to be down? How much data can you possibly afford to lose? It means having a backup site in a totally different geographic location. And most importantly, you have to test the plan regularly to make sure it actually works when you need it most.
So as we wrap this up, it really all comes down to this one question.
These decisions about infrastructure, about your core systems, about reliability, they're all constantly changing as technology evolves. So you have to ask yourself, are you building a system that just barely meets today's needs, or are you engineering a flexible, future-proof foundation that's ready for whatever comes next?